And the reason why, we all know Jamal Williams is the guy that they can lean upon. But the reason why I like Tony Jones Jr. more, because when you think about it, who's going to contribute? Who do you trust? I like him more than Kirk Merritt because Kirk Merritt hasn't even played. And then I look at, we didn't exactly set the world on fire running the ball in the preseason. If you look at it, Alvin Kamara, Jamal Williams, and Kendra Miller, they combined for 34 carries in the preseason. They collectively rushed for 84 yards, 2.5-yard average. Then you take out Kamara's 3 carries out of the equation. Then they only average between Williams and Miller 2.3 yards a carry. So I'm looking at, I don't know, the Titans got the number 1 rush defense. I'll be surprised if we have success, but you can't pass every down. So we should be able to exploit them that way. But the question I have, wouldn't you rather go with, now, because even though he was with the Broncos, that's the same offense as the Saints. And Tony Jones Jr. was productive this preseason with the Broncos. He ran for 66 yards on 10 carries, and he had a long run of 43. Now, he didn't make the Broncos' initial 53, but the Saints brought him on board. I just trust Tony Jones Jr. right now more than Kirk Merritt to back up Jamal Williams.
Well, here's the thing also, Bobby. He's been in this offensive system before.
Right.
Even being over in Denver, he didn't forget just, the calls that the Saints make. Now, some of it may be a little bit different or a little new since he's been gone, but at the same time, he knows the basis of your offense. So from that standpoint, yes, I think that he would be an option as far as a guy that's on your practice squad that you could call up, if need be. With Kirk now, Kirk has been in the system. And
right.
So, Bobby, when you talk about maybe using some two-back type situations where it's 2 tailbacks in there, I would probably feel a little bit more comfortable with Kirk Merritt in those situations where he is that tailback and, the other guy being Jamal. You would feel comfortable in those situations. And here's the other thing. It is going to be tough sledding. It would have been tough sledding if Kendre Miller was 100% healthy.
Or even if we had Alvin Kamara, even if Kamara was playing.
it was going to be tough sledding then. I mean, but that doesn't mean that you abandon the run completely. I mean, it's going to be bloody. It's going to be 3 yards on a cloud of dust, and I'm okay with that because, like you talked about, I can't allow them to just pass rush every down. I can't allow them to pass rush every snap. Hey, look, Jamal, if you come up with 7 catches this game, great. I'm excited about that because some of those plays will be an extension of a run place. Some of those design sweeps will be passes. I mean, it's just a different way to get him the football where he doesn't have to go in there and fight with those defensive tackles and those linebackers. And, it's a little bit more space to be able to operate.
Now, Deuce, when you look at it, it's kind of been there. I think it had opened at the Saints 3.5-point favorite, and it looks like it's sticking at 3. I think that's about right. I don't think the Titans would blow out the Saints or vice versa. That I think it could be a field goal game at the end. What is your take on that, and what do you think is going to happen?
No, I think that's about right. I mean, I think that's about right, and a lot of it's not based off of preseason. It's based off of personnel and where the game is being played. And, if you look at it, hey, look, who the key in this game will be, all right, who can establish somewhat of a line of scrimmage, not necessarily to run, but can you establish a line of scrimmage to protect the quarterback? I mean, because if you looked at Tennessee, you know that you have to be able to exploit that offensive line. They know that is probably the weakest point of their team is their offensive line. Their strength is their pass rush. Their front four is the strength of that team. And now the wild card is they want to keep it close. They want to make you make a mistake, whether that's in special teams or offense, and then they want to have a short field where they can, run the ball and then maybe have an explosive play with D-Hop. And so they'll love to get into 12 personnel, and they'll just want to bloody you. They'll want to bloody you as far as running the football, and then at some point you'll have a little play action over the top, or very few times will they just strictly drop back as far as passing because that's just not who they are.